Okay, now you have finished reading Body Ritual Among the Nasirema. You have a list of adjectives up on the board that you've described. My guess, based on my experience, is you probably have things like evil, barbaric, twisted, crazy, sadistic, masochistic, mean, bizarre, and you have lots of those types of adjectives. Hopefully you filled a whole board full of them, because the ability to use adjectives is something that we're starting to lose in our culture. So let's get on to the third part. Before I go through this section, I need you to understand how important it is that you do not tell the other members of the class what we're about to do, because I want them to experience the same thing for themselves. You'll understand what I mean here in just a second. Okay, you do not tell the other people in the class about this story at all. You pretend like nothing ever happened. When there's gasping and all the noises, that's okay, but when they say, "What were you guys doing today?" you just say, "Oh, nothing," because I don't want you to spill it for them. All right, here we go. Nasirema. Here is the name of the tribe that we just learned about, the Nasirema. You've got a whole list of adjectives on the board describing these savage people. Now I want you to look at the name Nasirema. Now look at the name backwards. American. This article is about us. The whole thing. Grab your paper and let's go through it. Okay, it says in the first paragraph, I guess it's the second paragraph, it says that it's a North American group living between the Canadian Cree and the Tarahumara of Mexico. So it's a North American group between Canada and Mexico. And then it says, according to our mythology, the nation was originated by a culture hero, not Ganesha. Look at that backwards. Washington, who is otherwise known for two great feats of strength, throwing of a piece of wampum across the river. He was known for throwing a stick across the Delaware, and the chopping down of the tree in which the spirit of truth resided. He chopped down the cherry tree, right? That's George Washington. Okay, second one. Culture is characterized by highly developed market economy. That's us. Everything's about our market. And we spend much of our day in ritual activity, and the focus of that is the human body. Okay, so the first, we're on the next to last paragraph on the first page. Fundamental belief underlying the whole system appears to be that the human body is ugly. Think about how much time and effort we put into changing the way that we look so that we're more attractive to the people around us. Okay, it says every household has one or more shrines devoted to changing our appearance. We're talking about bathrooms. The more powerful individuals in society have several shrines in their homes. If somebody's rich, they have more bathrooms. And in fact, the opulence of a house is often referred to in the term of the number of such ritual centers. So when we look at new houses to buy, we say, oh, that one has 3 bedrooms, 2 bathrooms. We refer to the house and how nice it is by how many bathrooms it has. Okay, most houses are wattle and daub construction. That's just, the true wattle and daub is stick and then mud over it. We use wood and then sheetrock over the top. But the shrine rooms of the more wealthy are walled with stone, tile. The wealthy ones, it's slate or travertine or whatever fancy stone that they have in their bathrooms. Poorer families imitate the rich by applying pottery plaques to their shrine walls, ceramic tiles, to make them look fancier. Okay, then it goes into the rites, the rituals in the bathroom. Says everything about them is private and secret. Matter of fact, we only talk about it with the little children, and that's when they're being initiated. That's when we're potty training, teaching them how to use the shrine. Okay, go on to the second page. Focal point of the shrine is a box or chest that's built into the wall. That's the medicine cabinet. the mirror. And in those, we put our magical potions, which we believe we can't live without. And then we have those preparations. The medicine is secured from the medicine man, but they don't actually make it. You go to the medicine man, you give them a gift, you pay them, the doctors, and they give instructions to another man who will actually put the ingredients together. That's the pharmacist. The charm is not disposed of after its purpose. It's put in the charm box. Think of all of the expired prescriptions that we have sitting in our medicine cabinet. They're there so long we don't even remember what they're for, but for some reason we don't throw them away. We keep them in the charm box, the medicine cabinet. Okay, this is third paragraph now. Beneath the charm box is a small font. That's the sink. Each day, every member of the family in succession enters the shrine room, bows his head, mingles different sorts of holy water, and proceeds with a brief rite of ablution. We wash our face. That's what that is. Holy waters are secured from the water temple, where they use ceremonies to make it ritually pure. That's the water purification plant. Okay, then we go to the holy mouth men. And it talks about our fascination with the mouth. I'm in the fourth paragraph. It says, were it not for the rituals of the mouth, we believe that our teeth would fall out, our gums would bleed, our jaws would shrink, our friends would desert us, and our lovers reject us. If our teeth are gross and falling out, then we would lose relationships. They also believe that there's a relationship between oral and moral characteristics. For example, there's a ritual ablution of the mouth for children, which is supposed to improve their moral fiber. Think about when a child says a word they're not supposed to say. We wash their mouth out with soap so that they have stronger moral fiber. Okay, we have the mouth rite, the daily mouth rite. Consists of inserting a small bundle of hog hairs into the mouth, along with certain magical powders, and moving the bundle in a highly formalized series of gestures. It's a toothbrush and toothpaste. Back in 1959, when this was written, they didn't use toothpaste, they used tooth powder. You would just dip the brush in powder and brush your teeth with that. Okay, and then we have the holy mouth man. You go to him once or twice a year. They gouge your teeth. If there's not already a hole there, then they make one, and then they put magical materials into them. And even though our teeth continue to rot, we go back time and time again because of our fascination with the mouth. Okay, let's go. Let's see. I'm on 505 now, the next page, second paragraph down, halfway through. It says, distinctive part of the daily body ritual, which is performed only by the men. This part of the rite involves scraping and lacerating the surface of the face with a sharp instrument. That's shaving. And then the women's rites, 4 times a month, they bake their heads in a small oven. Think about 1959. The ladies all went to the beauty parlor. They had the hair dryer thing that they sat down over their hair for an hour at a time to curl their hair for the week. That's what that is. Okay, next paragraph. So we are the second full paragraph, the third paragraph altogether. Says the medicine men have an imposing temple, or letipso, look at that backwards, hospital. The hospital is where the people that go that are really sick, excuse me, you go there and you have to pay money to get in. You can't leave until you pay some more money. It's very uncomfortable because they put you on beds of pain. They take away all your clothes and strip you naked. They poke and prod you. They stick you with magical needles. It talks about the Vestal Maidens, that it's a shock for everybody because a man who has never been caught in the act of excretion, meaning he's going to the bathroom in front of his wife, is suddenly undressed and finds himself in front of Vestal Maidens, nurses, where he does his business into a sacred vessel and she takes to the medicine man. Those are samples. They take blood samples, stool samples, whatever, and take it to the doctor, who then finds out what's wrong with you using those samples. Female their naked bodies are subjected to scrutiny, manipulations, and prodding of the medicine man. Think of all the things they have to do for women to keep them healthy. Okay, let's see. The Holy Mouth Man. Let's see. Okay, the last page, second paragraph down. This one talks about the listener. It's a psychiatrist. There are all sorts of layers of psychiatry that say that we have issues from the time we were little, and the way that our mother potty trained us makes a difference in how we behave. So you may have heard the term anally retentive. The theory is that comes from being too clean when we were being potty trained. So if a mother makes sure that the child is too very clean when they are potty training, it means that they're going to be super detail-oriented, OCD about everything around them the rest of their life. So this listener just sits back, and the person talking just talks about his earliest memories of trauma. In this case, it says it's not uncommon to talk about the rejection that we felt as being weaned, or even remembering the troubles going back to the trauma of birth. This is still a thing. They do hypnotism with psychology sometimes, and it goes all the way back to being born. How did that make you feel? Then we talk more about the bodies. We have ritual fasts to make fat people thin. Those are called diets. We have ceremonial feasts to make thin people fat. Think about all of the protein shakes and weight gainers and everything to get bigger. There's a paragraph that I removed here that talked about the mating habits of the people, and it talks about women who change their bodies to be undergo surgeries to be even more attractive, and then travel from town to town to be paid in order to take their clothes off. Prostitution, right? So I took that one out because it gets a little bit too graphic. And then at the end, it just talks about the crudity and irrelevance of magic, but without it, where would we be? So now that you understand what this is really about, I want you to look back up on the board and see all of the adjectives that you just used to describe our culture. Well done. All right, so this really was an article written in 1956 by Horace Minor, and it really was submitted in an anthropological magazine. So now what I want you to discuss as a group: why did he write it, and what do we take away from this? Okay, somebody discuss it for a few minutes, spend some time as a group and just talk this out. And then once you've done that, have somebody come grab me, and then we'll discuss it all together. All right? Remember, do not tell the other people in the class what this is about. I want them to be just as surprised when they get to this part of their speaking listening unit. Thank you.